Alright. So when I was talking to a friend of mine about frames and that, we got into the topic about Banshee, which is arguably one of the strongest weapon platforms in the game because of how her sonar scales. Which, if you want a great example of how her sonar scales, I have a multitude of videos on it. There's also the wiki for a reason. Banshee's sonar is honestly retardedly strong because it's multiplicative of itself. It applies multiple times to... It bypasses attenuation. Each individual limb gets the sonar buff, and a 200% strength sonar is the equivalent to a 1000% eclipse. Now, keyword, I said A. I didn't say multiple, I said A. One. One is considered that. And this thing stacks for each individual limb on the body. It's also multiplicative with itself. It also scales even higher with Toxin Dot's electricity, and current meta of Warframe is melee influence, and it also does better with gas. And Warframe's current meta is influence. Sonar also benefits retardedly much from beam weapons, and Warframe's current meta is beam weapons. Sonar also can be stacked with other damage subsumes, like Exoda, Roar, Clips, Norwich can be stacked with any weapon buff because it's Co as a weapon buff, but it's not Co as one, so it can be stacked. But the main ones, like, you know how you can't stack Roar and Eclipse together? Guess what? You can do it with this. You wanna know what's also stupid? It's multiplicative projectile melee like Glaives. You wanna know what's also stupid? Pre-Jade Shadow's armor nerf. This motherfucker, this frame, could hit billions of Juggernaut Behemoths with a non-galvanized modded Pathosist. No Warframe Arcane. No weapon platform subsume. No priming. Just her one sonar, silence up, and a Pathosist heavy attack. Wasn't even a Coda either, because again, Codas only exist because we have the galvanized. So think about that for a second. For how strong Banshee's sonar is. And also, again, the fact that it also bypasses attenuation. And pre-Noko update, Banshee plus sonar literally needed only one laden bullet to instant kill a demo in Dante Disruption. That's all you need, one laden bullet. You just walk up, shoot it, done. Which I also have a clip of. If you search up sonar, you will probably see it in the search results. Okay, let's get into the main thing. What am I talking about with Banshee sonar and the weird thing we discovered? Well, when we're talking about Banshee and how good her sonar is, he hovered over augments, and he mentioned this augment, Resonance, which is, I agree, is a really good augment. All you have to do is kill an enemy and there we go, it spreads. And since most of the weapons we use nowadays are AoE weapons, mostly melee influence, and most weapons she specializes in are melees, especially Glaives, which you don't want to know what people are most commonly using, because guess what was the charts of this year? The most used melee weapon? Exorus. You want to know what Exorus is? A melee influence glaive. So it's going to trigger this back to back. Well, as we're talking about that, Banshee's sonar, he showed this and then he hovered over this. Now, for people that know Banshee very, very well, you will look at this and you'll be like, what the fuck? That doesn't exist. But for people that don't play Banshee, you would look at this and like, hey Julian, what the fuck does this matter? Why does this matter? Well, I'm gonna tell you something. This mob, like I already mentioned, doesn't exist. If we go to augments in Suda, okay? If we go to augments in Suda,
a perfect specimen of wasted life.
Okay, and we type Banshee. You know something. Sonic Fracture, Savage Silence, Resonating Quake, Resonance. You wanna know what's not here? You wanna know what's not here? Augmented sonar. Sonar augment. Affected enemies also become visible through walls for 10 seconds. That is not here. Which, cool, yeah, it seems like it's gonna be very niche, but what if it's coded like Cyto 9's Seek? That would be interesting. I doubt it is, but it makes you think. It'll make Evade Banshee even more stupid than it already is. But, let's continue. Okay? Do you know what this means? If this augment is showing in this ability card here, even though it's not in the game because you can't actually, like, go to a syndicate and pick it up and equip it. This means DE made a fuck up in their code, and these are the this is one of the augments that was supposed to release in the Folly update, because Folly had this issue where it's such a complex frame that the augments are supposed to release in the update with her aren't fucking coming. They held them off to another update because how complex of a frame she was the fucking code. So that means that this is most likely one of the augments, which means if this one managed to break the fucking code and is available to us normal players to look at before the update's even a thing for us to even play, that probably means that the other augments that are supposed to come in the Folly update are already in the game's code right now for us to look at. So what I would suggest you people doing is going through all the frames roster, if you can, and you have the time to, and look at the abilities. Okay? I will be looking at some of them, but some abilities I can't look at because they're subsumed. So if you don't have the ability subsumed, do a favor and look and see if it has an augment. That doesn't exist in the game. Because, again, if this is showing, that most likely means all the augments that were supposed to get added in the Folly update but didn't are already in the game's code for us to view before they even get added to the game, so we already know what the augments are before they even fucking happen. Which I find very interesting. But yeah, that's all I want to show you.